morning. Thanks for the introduction, Wendy. Hi, guys. I am not going to give you death by PowerPoint. I'm assuming you can read the slides. I want to provide a little bit of commentary. My goal is to briefly go over some basic negotiation, but I really want to focus on interactions with project sponsors, which is a special case. If you're a project manager, I'm hoping you get some useful tips for interacting with your sponsors. And if you're a sponsor, I'm hoping you get some insights to help make you and your project manager more effective. So let's define our terms. Traditional negotiation. A lot of good definitions floating around. This is the one I like. A process for seeking acceptable terms to exchange something that's desired by another party for something we want. There was another good definition I liked that talked about a conversation, but I don't think language is essential to negotiation. It just helps a lot. And because language helps a lot, negotiation is mostly a human activity. Lions do not negotiate for who is going to get the biggest share of the kill and who eats first, right? In nature, there isn't a whole lot of negotiating. The strong eat first, eat as much as they want. The weak try to stay out of their way, and the weakest of the weak may die. That's a pretty harsh environment out in the real world. Humans aren't above that behavior. When the Mongolian horde swept down from the steppes, they didn't negotiate with the villages they raided, right? They just took what they wanted. That was good for the horde in the short term, but it was tragic for their victims. And it was a setback for humanity as a whole. People died needlessly and were essentially punished for their early farming and herding efforts. Responding to that threat required diverting resources to things like city walls and militias. So nature can be kind of brutal. So why did people develop the ability to negotiate? Well, Charles Darwin would tell us that the only behaviors that are valuable are behaviors that improve our chances of surviving and procreating. So let's look at it in that context. Is there an evolutionary advantage to negotiating? I think so. Let's first talk about bartering. Imagine your ancestors and my ancestors in some lush valley, and your ancestors are better hunters than mine, and my ancestors are better gatherers than yours. If they can find a way to exchange goods, so you give my ancestors a little bit of the beef that you got from your successful hunt, we'll give you some of the nuts and berries that we gathered because we know where to look for them. What happens in that exchange is your family and my family are going to have a richer diet and be more likely to survive. We don't even have to be part of the same tribe. If we can work out that kind of barter, it makes us a little more robust and a little more flexible. You can't tell, but I'm waving my arms in my office for emphasis. This also allows specialization. Barter is actually really important to human civilization because it says, maybe I'm a terrible hunter and I'm also a terrible gatherer, but I'm really good at making arrows. Well, if we set up a situation where we can have some means of exchanging goods and services, maybe my arrows help you be a better hunter and we all win. So barter was actually a really powerful thing in the evolution of society. There's another aspect of this called tribal altruism. Let's imagine rather than folks that meet casually in some valley, let's say we come together and form a village. Well, in that village, if we're part of a social unit or tribe, we might want to pool our resources. Your family caught fish today and mine didn't. If you share with us now, we'll share with you when the tables are turned. This cooperation generally increases the likelihood of everyone's survival. So if it increases everyone's survival, that's better than a zero-sum game. Now, there's an interesting side effect of this, which is cheater detection. This arrangement only works if everybody holds up their share of the bargain. So if I'm not a very good hunter and I'm not a very good gatherer and I'm not a very good arrow maker and I keep telling you, yeah, you feed me today and I'll feed you tomorrow, and I'm not carrying my weight over a long period of time, that's cheating. That's relying on the the work of other folks. It turns out the neuropsychologists are telling us that cheater detection is a very special circuitry in the brain. I found that fascinating. Humans without special training are not intuitively very good at statistics and logic. There's a number of amusing anecdotes that share that with us. What psychologists have discovered is if you frame some statistical and logic problems in terms of cheater detection, humans are much better at it. We aren't good at a whole lot of things, but if someone's trying to take advantage of us in a deal or they're not carrying their weight, we are very cautious about that because that would not be an evolutionary advantage to our offspring and to our tribe if someone's freeloading. Okay, so it may help us if we can negotiate. What does that look like? Here's some examples of negotiation. Haggling at a bazaar or buying a car. Those are some that we're all really familiar with. Asking for a higher wage. That's something most of us have to do at some point, and without a whole lot of training and preparation, it can be really hard. Divorce, trying to get hostages released, adding to a teen's chores, working with sponsors, that's of course the focus this talk, working with sponsors to resolve project issues. So 1 and 2 are what come to mind for most people when we think of a negotiation. And 3 is an important conversation some of you don't know how to prepare for. 4 and 5 are high-stakes conversations that could literally be the difference between life and death. And number 5 is hostage negotiation. Number 6 is probably impossible. I raised 3 teenagers successfully to adulthood, but I never did figure out how to manipulate their chore list. So if you've sorted that one out, I want to be your agent. And number 7 is the special case I want to focus on today. Okay, so what I want to do is quickly share a model for addressing the first 5, which I think are traditional negotiation, and then I'm not going to talk about that anymore. I'm going to give up on 6, and we're going to focus on item 7. Okay, so here's a model that really supports well the classic negotiation scenario that we just described. This is from a negotiation class I build. I'm going to give you the references in just a minute. Before you go into negotiation, it's a good idea to prepare, make sure you're clear about what you want, what you have to offer, chat with the folks that you're working with, figure out what they want, what they have to offer, a series of proposals, what might we trade, how might we sort this out, ultimate goal being to get to an agreement or to walk away. This is a slide right out of another negotiation class. It's a more traditional class. It talks about more traditional negotiations. It's informed by my life experiences, some articles and podcasts, and 4 really good negotiating books. So here's some references that I wanted to share with you that are if you came from traditional negotiation, you'll find this useful, and then we're going to talk specifically about sponsors. If you look at negotiating references and sales training for about 19...
Hi there, I hope you enjoyed that last clip. My name is Michael Maludis, and if you'd like to watch the full 60 minutes of that last webcast, while also gaining complete unlimited access to our entire library of IT learning, simply visit our subscribe page at greatpro.org/subscribe. Unlimited annual access is $199 per year, but if you use the coupon code LEARN2EARN, you can drop that membership fee to just $149. That's less than $13 per month for unlimited access to over 1,000 hours of on-demand career development, covering the entire spectrum of IT management best practices, including business analysis and requirements, software development, quality and testing, risk management, process improvement, project management, and even digital transformation. But your membership doesn't just give you unlimited access to our vast learning library. You also get free access to our mobile app, as well as direct access to our network of over 300 of the world's leading IT consultants, all of whom are dedicated to putting practical knowledge at your fingertips so that you can learn more and earn more. I hope you will join me in becoming a member of the Great IT Professional and advancing your career with us. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to hit that subscribe button above so that you get notified whenever we publish new free webcasts each week of the year. Thank you for your time and best wishes for your continued success.